Holy crap, you guys. If yesterday's news wasn't enough about 3 title fights being announced, we have more fights coming out. We're going to break it all down, you guys. Please like the video, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts.
Oh my God! Wow!
Okay, guys, I have no clue what's going through Dana White's mind right now, but he is dropping banger after banger after banger as he has just announced for that UFC 296 card 2 more fights. I assume definitely in that main card. We now have
Wonderboy versus Shavkat Rakhmonov.
But wait, there's more.
Paddy Pimblett versus Tony Ferguson.
Fuck y'all! God damn! God damn! God damn!
I know, you guys, literally shocking, some would say unbelievable news, but we're gonna start off with that Wonderboy Shavkat fight. I mean, man, when the idea of these 2 guys fighting first came out, Wonderboy immediately turned down.
They actually, UFC wanted me to fight him. I was like, I don't want to fight that dude.
And we were even getting reports a couple weeks ago that Shavkat was looking to fight either in November or December in one of the pay-per-view slots that the UFC was offering. And so now all of a sudden we're getting this fight announced. And I guess the first thing comes to mind is like, what changed for Wonderboy? We're getting reports a couple weeks ago that the UFC was interested in doing Usman versus Wonderboy, you know, with Usman being obviously the #1 welterweight in the world, you know, Wonderboy leaning around outside the top 5. I mean, that's honestly a perfect fight. You know, 2 veterans, 2 guys that have been there, done that in the welterweight division would have been definitely interesting. But I wonder why the UFC didn't go with that fight. Maybe Usman isn't prepared. Maybe there's an injury there. But, you know, with him fighting Shavkat, I feel like it's more of a, you know, let's just go through it. Like, I'm going to have to go through this guy eventually. Let's just get it over with right now, which is good. It's a good mindset from Wonderboy Thompson. It lets you know where he stands, you know, that he wants to get to that belt. Obviously, you know, you got to feel for the guy as he couldn't fight in July because Michel Pereira missed weight. So, and he didn't get, you know, paid from that. So, man, oh man, I'm super excited for this fight. You know, stylistically, we've never seen Shavkat deal with someone as elusive as, you know, Wonderboy. His last fight, he fought Jeff Neal, you know, a more boxer, you know, oriented style fighter. So it'll definitely be interesting. But I think for more or less, you know, a lot of people are seeing this fight as, you know, a passing of the guard, you know, out with the old, in with the new. But, you know, do not count out Wonderboy with this fight. Super exciting news, though.
All right, man. I don't know why you gotta be so mean, man. This guy's so mean.
And it's just all around good news. You know, there's motion in the welterweight division. You know, we just had Jack Della Maddalena, you know, versus Kevin Holland. Now we have an announcement of what's going on with the world title, Colby and Leon. And now we have a fight between top 10 contenders with Wonderboy and Shavkat. So, man, super exciting for 170 right now. Really interested to see what happens at 296.
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
And man, oh man, this next news doesn't get, you know, more interesting than this. The 6-fight winning streak versus the 6-fight losing streak. You know, for 296, we will also be getting Paddy the Baddie versus Tony Ferguson. And I feel like I'm just lost for words. Like, I can't believe, you know, this is where we're at with Tony Ferguson. You know, after all his losses, now he's scooping down to someone, you know, with the level of you know, Paddy Pimblett, which, you know, not to, you know, talk bad about the guy or anything, but it's like, man, you know, his days at the top are for surely gone. And it sucks, you know, we're not seeing Tony fight top contenders anymore. You know, we are now starting to see what happens when you lose fights in a row. They're going to start throwing you to younger guys, you know, to build your name off of. And, you know, that is no more obvious than this fight. This would be, you know, the return of Paddy after a year layoff. You know, he had an injury. Now he's coming back with the Las Vegas crowd. Same spot as he was last year. But with fighting, you know, such a huge name like Tony Ferguson, you could obviously see, you know, where the UFC is, you know, putting their chips in. You know, this is supposed to be the coming out party for Paddy the Baddy. You know, he's fought so-and-so competition. You know, his last fight, you know, he struggled a lot with Jared Gordon, which, you know, people thought he lost that fight, you know, that Jared was robbed, which I'm one of them. You know, I thought Jared, you know, definitely won the fight. But with him now fighting Tony Ferguson, this is more of a massive step up in competition. But as Tony has been declining and decreasing in skill, you know, in age, who knows? You know, they could definitely be evenly matched now. You could 100% bet that in this fight, Paddy's going to be a massive favorite coming into it. But to be honest with you, I think Tony could get this done. I really do think that Tony could win this fight, and I'm not just saying that to get you guys' hopes up, you know, but I can see a path to victory for Tony Ferguson, specifically in the striking department. It seems to me with how aggressive, you know, Paddy is, you know, he's always trying forward, trying to throw big shots. He struggles a lot with his defense, you know, in the boxing aspect. I mean, Jared was landing that right hand, you know, right on Paddy's forehead the entire night. He seemed, you know, to struggle getting his head off the center line, you know, always keeping it forward. And, you know, he definitely exposed some holes in his game. And while I won't put Tony Ferguson in, like, you know, an elite striker class, you know, he is very, very tricky to deal with. You know, he makes fighters that are so good at, you know, striking change up their style because they're not able to catch Tony clean on the feet. And so with that being said, I could 100% see Tony, you know, landing elbows, being able to throw jabs. You know, they say that power is the last thing to go with a fighter. You know, they decline in, you know, skill, decline in durability, but their power is the last thing to go. And we've seen that, you know, he's been able to drop Michael Chandler, drop Bobby Green, guys that are still at the top of the weight class. So, I mean, I wonder what could happen, you know, if he lands a good one on Paddy Pimblett. But, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. With the criticism that Paddy got from his last fight and, you know, the year layoff that he took, you know, the hype behind this, you know, Tony Ferguson fight, I'm not going to lie to you. I could 100% see, you know, Paddy just bum rushing right out there, taking down Tony and, you know, finishing him with a choke, which is something that we have seen very recently is something that's able to get Tony out of there. So look, I definitely won't give my official prediction right now, but I will say I feel like this fight is going to be a lot more competitive than, you know, the bookie, you know, says it's going to be, and how, you know, analysts and casuals, you know, of the sport, you know, say it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a complete washout, just because I do have faith in Tony that he can regroup himself, you know, and just find a way to, you know, make this fight competitive, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, with his current age and, you know, the fact that he's been active and, you know, just got finished a couple months ago, I mean, it doesn't really look too good for Tony Ferguson. It looks like this is just, you know, a stepping stone fight for Paddy Pimblett. But I hope that is not what's going to happen. But anyways, you guys, that is the news for today. Man, UFC 296 December. I'm so hyped for this card. I wonder what other fights are going to be part of, you know, the main card, the prelims, all that good stuff. Please, you guys, like the video, comment down below your guys' thoughts and early predictions on the fight, and make sure to subscribe. Later.